Aloha everybody, and welcome to part 3 of Double Dragon Neon, and we're heading all the way back down to Earth to go visit the countryside. So that we can beat up more of Skullmageddon's thugs. This is a beat-em-up game after all.
Nothing like walking the streets of Earth.
Billy, you walk the streets of Earth every day. You were just in a spaceship. Oh my god, that guy's on fire! I feel like his health should have been going down little by little with every single second that he was on fire, but maybe he has some kind of fireproof vest on. I don't know. Maybe Skullmageddon gives all of his Williams, like, this fireproof lotion so that they'll never get burned in battles. With this universe, I could totally believe that as an actual thing, so, you know. But now that we're in the countryside, we got ourselves a whole bunch of new enemies to beat up on, so here is the serious Shinobi, Shun! Shun always materializes out of nowhere. She just appears in a puff of smoke, and then right after she does this pose that actually counts as an attack. It will damage you if you're standing in front of her, so as soon as she does it, duck under to get your gleam on to do double damage, and it's always a good opening spot. I like when they materialize because then I actually go forward to them on purpose, because I know that their pose thing is going to be the same every time they come in, and I know exactly when to dodge so I can get my gleam on. So I like walking towards them as soon as they appear, but don't walk towards them once you've knocked them down, because Shun does not stay on the ground. If you knock her down, she will immediately do this spinneroony handstand in order to get back up, and that will damage Billy if he's standing right next to her. Because, like, with Linda and Williams and Abobo, anytime they're knocked down, I can always just, like, pound them in the gut when they're down, but not Shun.
Oh, for the love of... They're not dead yet? Make them dead! Use the Killacopter! Stop them, you imbeciles!
Okay, so here's the Killacopter, and the Killacopter has a whole bunch of homing missiles that it's going to be shooting at Billy Lee. They actually lose their homing property as soon as they get real close and low to the ground, but they will be gunning for Billy at first, and if you manage to dodge roll out of the way at the last second, then they'll just run into the floor like it's nobody's business. And they also have a barrage of missiles that will be falling out of the middle of the helicopter, so you want to be standing around where the front is, where the tail is, because otherwise you'll be fighting these goons and then all of a sudden just a rain of missiles will be landing right on top of you. And there's really no warning for that either. They just sort of drop it without warning at all. And it's... ugh. So many missiles!
Fire the Billy Buster!
And then he fires the Billy Buster, which is just a stream of missiles that will be following the pink Skullmageddon icons on the bottom. And for the most part, you can hang to the right and be underneath the helicopter until the pink icons come right over there, so yeah. Just follow the trail, make sure you're not running into the missiles, it's really not that hard. You just gotta keep beating up on all these thugs while missiles and stuff keep shooting at you. So you just pay attention, just pay attention.
I did it! I gotta go now!
Oh, I forgot about that. When enemies defeat Billy, when they actually drain one of your lives, they actually have a victory quote.
You fools! This is a winter! Your incompetence baffles me! Retreat!
But I just love the personality that this game has, not just because of Skullmageddon, but because, like, when the thugs actually beat you, they have a victory quote. They actually say something like, "Oh yeah, I beat Billy, oh!" And, you know, even certain objects that Billy is holding, he actually says different things depending on what weapon he's beating up thugs with. And there's this great gag involving the baseball bat, but right now, here's the shop for Stage 5. Tales have been told of a man who ducked 7 times between the twin gravestones. But he unleashed an unimaginable horror. Never do this. Military move into town, but no music sales. Does military not listen to music? Perhaps you more sensible. Spin kick, 1-inch punch, weapons up. Excellent choice. So yeah, this is where I can find the power gambit, and I'm going to be getting as many power gambits as I can to increase my strength even more. Again, I can only carry 10 mixtapes until I upgrade that particular mixtape at a tapesmith shop. But, hey, the stronger I can be, the better and quicker these fights will go, so... Why not? Why not? But with particular weapons, Billy will actually say some really funny things, like with the baseball bat. Sometimes when you hit people with the baseball bat, Billy will say, "Home run!" Which makes sense. But then other times when you hit people with a baseball bat, he'll say, "Hole in one!" Touchdown! Touchdown and hole in one. Billy, do you even play sports? Are you even familiar with the concept of baseball? Oh my god, this game's too much. This game is too much. Some people might be asking, how much experience do I have with the Double Dragon franchise? Not a lot, honestly. When I was a kid, I definitely played Double Dragon 1 and 2 on the NES, and I like those games. I still think they hold up pretty nicely. I mean, Double Dragon 1 on NES is a really short game. There's like 4 levels, and if you know what you're doing, you could probably get through that game in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, probably. Double Dragon 2 I liked more, because that game actually had co-op. Yeah, the NES Double Dragon doesn't have co-op. It is a 2-player game, but it's a take-turns 2-player game, which doesn't make sense for a beat-em-up, you know? Like, no. Like, I imagine, like, people getting Double Dragon, they see 2-player, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna play with my friend, and then they push the button, and it's just like, oh, it's take-turns multiplayer. I mean, there is a fighting mode, sort of, in Double Dragon, but, like, you're not both Billy and Jimmy, you get to play as, like, a Bobo and all the other henchmen that you beat up in the game and stuff. It's a bizarre, but Double Dragon 2 I definitely liked a lot more. That had co-op. I thought the combat was a lot better. And I enjoyed my time with it, but I wasn't like such a big, like, oh, this is the standard of beat-em-ups. My jam when I was a kid, the best beat-em-up for me, I would always recommend this to people, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo. To me, that is one of the most perfect beat-em-up games, even if you're not a Turtles fan. And I'm not even that hardcore of a Turtles fan, you know? I'm not like, you know, they watched all the cartoons and they watched everything about it. Like, I'm kind of a casual fan. I love the 1990 movie. I think that movie is perfect, and, like, you're never gonna make a better Turtles movie, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care how hard you try, that movie is perfection. But, I never really watched the 80s cartoon, and I wasn't a big follower of the comics or anything. But the beat-em-up, the Super Nintendo game, Turtles in Time, oh my god. Even if you're not a Turtles fan, that game is so perfect, and you need to play it with a friend. That game made my childhood. Well, so many things make my childhood, but you know.
Dislike law enforcement with a vengeance. They just bullies with the worst of intentions. Just a thought gets me and my friends so man. Gonna find a cop and kick him in the go man.
So good, the music. Oh my god.
Now where did I put that gun?
Where did I put that gun? Did I drop it in this big ravine? I don't know. How could you drop a gun? That's so important to hold, goddammit. Either way. I played Double Dragon on arcades because, you know, that was a thing my local video store had back in the early 90s.
Okay, we're back. Now you'll really be defeated. Permanently.
Just keep on walking forward, and you won't get blown off. And then the Killacopter is going to go back to doing what it usually does, dropping foes and shooting homing missiles. But I played the arcade Double Dragon, and like those are the only 3 I ever played. I never played the Super Nintendo games. I never played Double Dragon 5, the fighting game. Or the new one that just came out, Double Dragon 4, that just came out for PS4. It looks like an NES game. Maybe it's good. I should give it a shot. But
Stab it! Where I came from!
Fire the penetrator missiles!
Penetrator missiles! But actually, I did play another Double Dragon game. There is another one, but I don't know if I would consider it a Double Dragon game because it was Double Dragon Cross Battletoads, where they teamed up, and it was more a Battletoads game than it was a Double Dragon game. So I played that, but I don't know if I would count that as a Double Dragon game. I'm just saying I'm not a big, strong aficionado with Double Dragon. I don't have, like, the most amazing knowledge of the franchise, you know?
What do you mean you're out of missiles? Find them! Kill them with the blades!
Okay, I don't think that's possible, video game. I don't think that's possible. Either way, just move out of the way of the blades, pay attention to the shadow, go to the opposite of where the shadow is, you'll be absolutely fine. But, yeah, so my knowledge of Double Dragon is just like the first 2 NES games, the arcade game, and the Battletoads game, so I'm not a big expert on the series, but I love me some beat-em-ups. I love Turtles in Time, I love Streets of Rage 2 on Sega Genesis, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World that you obviously saw. I liked that game when I did a Let's Play of it not too long ago. I'm a big fan of beat-em-ups, you know, when they're good. I don't love every beat-em-up. I could never get into the Final Fight games. I always thought Streets of Rage was way better than Final Fight. Like, I tried getting into it and it just felt so clunky, and I never felt like I was ever in control of those fights, and I felt like I always felt like I had to cheat in order to win boss fights and stuff, but, yeah. Either way, that's basically all I wanted to say. I like beat-em-ups. Turtles in Time's great, and I don't have that much experience with Double Dragon, but it doesn't matter if you have experience with Double Dragon or not. Neon kicks so much ass regardless. Watch out for the arrows. Pay attention to where the arrows are lodged into the ground, because that's where they're going to be landing, obviously. But you remember when the shopkeeper said something about how you didn't want to duck 7 times between these 2 gravestones because this unspeakable horror is going to appear? That's coming up in this level. That's coming up at the end of this particular pathway. I'm going to uncover this unimaginable, unspeakable, scary freaking horror that will haunt your nightmares for days to come. But, oh no, 2 Abobos! This is getting a little obnoxious now. Getting a little goddamn obnoxious. But here's the 2 gravestones, folks. I accidentally shattered one, but you can still duck in between them even when one's been broken.
I'm alive again! Thanks for finding me, Billy!
This is Fuzzface, ladies and gentlemen! So, taking a cue from The Legend of Zelda, Fuzzface is this little fairy that follows you and constantly talks and constantly annoys the player, and you were warned by the shopkeeper not to do what he told you not to do. So, but there is actually a benefit to Fuzzface. Fuzzface every now and then will drop a whole bunch of soda, and he always drops the crystal soda, the one that refills both your health and your electricity, because apparently Crystal Pepsi is that much better than regular Pepsi. At least that's what I've heard from the Cinema Snob, but you know. Fuzzface won't go away. He's always going to be hovering around you, he's always going to be annoying the hell out of you, and he doesn't go away until you exit the game and then restart Double Dragon Neon. Like, if I want him to go away, I have to exit the game, turn it on again, and then select my next level, and when I respawn, Fuzzface won't be here, but, you know. Still, you listen to that shopkeeper, you got this thing that will occasionally give you health power-ups. It's kind of annoying. And it looks so out of place because he looks so photoshopped and weird compared to the rest of the art style. What's wrong with your face, Fuzzface? Good God.
Behold, Lee Brothers, my least vincible creation, this giant tank!
Expensive experiment, the giant tank. So right off the bat, you have to destroy all of these things. Well, you don't have to, but it helps so much with the fight. Like these steam vents that will push out a whole bunch of steam that will knock you down. Destroy those so that you don't have to worry about them ever again for the rest of this fight. Destroy all the things launching missiles. Destroy all the things shooting bombs. Because all of these compartments just make the repeated climbs you're going to be doing so much more annoying, so you might as well just get rid of them right now. The end goal is to destroy the red part on the top right. We have to get to one of the towers and throw the TNT explosive barrels at them to destroy the red part, the backup battery part, I suppose. But I get on the tower, I pick up this, throw it, boom! And then the cannon shoots down a satellite that you need to watch out for.
Bring back the Killacopter!
So in the second phase, the Killacopter's back and it's going to be shooting homing missiles at you. And this is the awkward thing about the running. You have to sort of manually stop running in order to get Billy to slow down. So if you're like running and platforming and then you try and like stop him but you accidentally jump, he'll just keep on running. And I always make that mistake so much with the platforming when I'm climbing this thing. But you don't have to worry about how close you are to the battery when you throw the TNT at it, because you could be like right next to it, you could be literally on it, and your health won't go down when you throw dynamite at it. It doesn't actually affect you. I had to dodge roll out of the way of that satellite so I wouldn't get hurt. But the third and final phase, not only do you have Killacopter shooting missiles horizontally, the tank itself is shooting all these missiles vertically, and you gotta watch out. Dodge roll is your friend. Oh god, I fell. Dodge roll is your friend, but also just pay attention to where all the missiles are, and keep in mind every now and then the tank will move, and then the missiles will kind of move along with them in that, you know, you sort of have to know that, like, okay, I'm moving, I gotta kind of get back because I'm moving too far forward, you know? But you throw one more TNT explosive thing at this, and that's it. What an expensive waste of time. But I got 3 mithril for it. Whew!
Imbeciles! You are all as useless as you are dead! Wait, now's your chance to capture him. Take him to the lab. I'll make him a new brother.
Oh no, we've been abducted! Well, we'll find out where Skullmageddon's taking us in Part 4. See you then.